Hello again, sausages. It's 3:15 in the morning. It's Saturday morning. I can't sleep. I have a bad back. I've had this bad back for years, and every now and again, it hurts so bad I simply can't sleep. I can't sit still. But it's managed to calm down now, thankfully. Calm down enough for me to put my thoughts on video and let me know what you think. All these channels on telly, and there's nothing to watch. It's crazy, isn't it? Remember the days back in the 80s when we had 4 channels, sometimes 3 channels, and we were always complaining there was nothing to watch. Well, now we have thousands of channels and nothing to watch. How weird is that? But I'm also up because I think a lot about the future, and not just mine. I'm very concerned about the future of the West, of Britain, our traditions, our values, our way of life, our people. It really does bother me. I am that deep in this political bear pit now, and it was unintentional when I started. I was never a political guy until I just dipped my toes, and it's like it grabbed my foot and pulled me way deep into this muddy pool, and politics is a muddy pool. Nothing is clear down there ever. But I do think about the Roman Empire, and you may laugh, and I can see things happening now to Britain, the United States, the West as a whole, as happened to the Roman Empire. Now, the Roman Empire fell, as we all know, one of the greatest empires the whole world ever knew. And some may argue it was a quick thing, some may argue it was a slow process. I think it was a slow process myself. An empire like that, such a powerful empire, a brutal empire like that, could not fall easily just like that. So my argument is it's happened slowly. And there were 3 factors, and these 3 factors are happening in our society today. Corruption, the empire being divided, and then there was the invasion by the Germanic hordes, and then poof, it was all gone, just like that. And it's happening here, and I don't want it to happen here. The corruption at the top tier society, they're all corrupt. Royal family, politicians, presidents, prime ministers, world leaders. You've got the World Economic Forum and other organisations, for some reason, hell-bent on our destruction and selling us down the river. As long as these people get rich, people are selling their own people down the river in order to make a quick buck. How sad is that? People are eating each other in the streets, not literally, but that'll happen because people in society, we're getting angrier. Cost of living crisis. People can't afford stuff. People want more, and they're prepared to do anything to get it. And then there's invasions, and there is an invasion going on. You've got to be careful how you word it, but it's true. Some might call it a migration. But if these people truly are escaping war-torn countries, why the hell would you leave your family there, your wife and kids? I wouldn't. If this place erupted into civil war, I would have a couple of things to think about. Would I join in the fight? Or would I flee with my family? Or would I send my family first somewhere? I think the honourable, manly thing to do is to send your family to safety and stay here and fight. And then rebuild. That's the common sense way of, I think, how a situation like that should be dealt with. And you may think, oh, Paz, you're being far-fetched, but you see society today, you see what's happening. There are groups of people marching the streets, chanting genocidal songs, anti-Semitic songs. There are people disrespecting our memorials and war monuments. There were people chanting outside elected representatives, MPs, constituents' offices, telling them to step aside without an election. This country is being ripped apart. The West is being ripped apart, and this is what happened to the Roman Empire. And we're going to fall. We really are going to fall. We're heading for a massive, great big fall, and it's on us. It really is. We are leaving a horrible legacy for our kids. Now, as a true conservative, I'm a conservative because I know I have been born into and inherited something that's good. Someone once said to be born British is to win the lottery of life. And it was at one point, but these days, if I was a single man now, if I was a young Fusilier or Lance Corporal Parry back in the army, I think I would have stayed in. I wouldn't have left, and I would not have had kids. I would not bring kids into this world now, knowing the way it's heading. And once again, I say the name to you, Yuri Bezmenov, the Soviet defector. There's videos of him on YouTube describing whatever shady organisation is up to, how they're doing it and why. Weakening a nation, demonising a demographic, getting rid of the patriarchy, criminalising nationalism, national pride. And it's weakening a society, and that's how you break a society, therefore destroy a nation, break an empire, make an empire fall. And it's sad, really. If you haven't thought about the Roman Empire, please do. Many other people do. I know they do. And I think about it more constantly now. But I don't want to think about it. I want to do something about it. I was willing to pop down to the cenotaph to make sure that was protected last week. Many of us did. And there are many people on the internet who, though support what people like I do and others and congratulate us, and even though they can't, there are some people who do this, and yet they won't. This isn't a call to arms on a thing. I don't think we're in that situation yet, or the country is at that point where the temperature is pushing it to boiling point, but it's getting there. And I dread to think what's going to happen. I really do. I don't want war. I don't want violence on the streets. I don't want this country, this island, to tear itself apart. But there are people within it allowing it to happen and encouraging it because of hatred. Utter hatred of us as a people, us as a collective nations, us as who we are. And they're trying absolutely everything to demonise us, blaming us on the past deeds of our ancestors. And you know what I'm talking about. It's quite upsetting, really, isn't it? But that's what I think about. And I urge you all to. Anyway. Oh, bloody hell. I'll tell you what, bad back is not a joke. It really isn't. Two of the worst pains a man can have. There's quite a few, actually, but the worst are toothache, getting kicked in the balls, and backache. Dear me. I've just had my tooth taken out. That's the toothache gone. Luckily, nobody's kicked me in the balls, but my back is killing me. Even though I am having sports therapy off a wonderful lady. And it does help. But it hasn't been as bad as it has been. But a bad back is the least of my problems, I reckon. And there we go. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Remember to subscribe to my stuff. Until the next time, think about the Roman Empire and Roger Trout.